So, what can a normal everyday stock tell us about Bitcoin? Hello and welcome back to Cryptocurrency, the weekly review. And I want to show you something I find interesting. First off, as always, if you find this information valuable, please feel free to like, subscribe, do all the things on YouTube that you normally do, as well as library. If you find the information especially valuable, you can always go to cryptocurious.tv/support and feel free to send a little crypto my way to these addresses. Also, library, let me get up here and hit this. Library would like me to tell you that they're giving away free crypto all through the month of February. All you have to do is sign up for an account and watch some videos, and they're going to give you crypto. Fantastic deal. I like library. I use library. If you're not watching this on library, go down into the description to find my link and start up an account with them. They have both online through the web as well as their own application. And you'll find that there are people who are putting stuff on YouTube who are putting more critical stuff on library as well as other outlets, because YouTube won't allow them to say certain things because, well, 2020 is going to be the end of YouTube. That's as simple as that. Anyway, let's get back to crypto. First off, let's take a look at what we're doing for cryptos for the week. It's been a good week. Bitcoin is up 5.5%, a little over 5.5%. Ethereum is up 24.33%. Let's see, Litecoin is up just over 10%. And Cardano, I like Cardano. Cardano is up 13.5% just for the week. And if we look at the big winners for the week, let's see, who do we got? It looks like Hedera Hashgraph is a big winner. They're up a little over 63.5%. Lisk is up 35.15. So we've got some really big winners. Prices are going up, as we can see. Bitcoin, 97.77 at this point. We haven't been this close to $10,000 since last September. Good sign. The bull market is back, and everybody knows it. Now you'll notice I've got a couple of horizontal lines here. The first one, the yellow one, is at 10,516. And you'll notice that we've got here and here, we've got a little bit of resistance. That's, and also back over here. So we've got 3 points of resistance at that level. I want to see what happens. I don't think that the 10,000, the big even, I don't think 10,000 is going to be a problem. But 10.5 might be. So I'd like to see what happens. We may bounce off that slightly and then come back and go through. And then once we make it through 10.5, the next one I'm looking for, as I have been saying, is 11.5. Up here at 11.5, the blue line, we've got resistance here, here, and here. So we've, again, 3 points of resistance all the way back. Both of them have resistance all the way back to the bear market when it first started. So this is some significant resistance that we may have to go through. Once we get above 11.5, I don't think we're going to come back down below 10,000 ever again. All right, so what I really wanted to talk to you about, and again, I do try and keep these videos as short as possible, but I like to talk. Let's take a look at Tesla. You're saying, well, why am I looking at Tesla? It's not crypto. True, it's not crypto. But you can see this Tesla stock is doing exactly what crypto does. It's gone parabolic. Is it in a bubble yet? Well, according to my indicator here, the green line is starting to head up, but they're not close to each other. In fact, it looks like we've got about 300 points between these 2 points. So we're not yet in a bubble. When these start to converge, we will call this a bubble. If we're in a bubble, it's at the very start. But what I wanted to show you, what everybody's been freaking out about, is this day here. So on the 5th, we had a down day. And all the news was reporting Tesla stock down as much as 27%. Well, 27% in a stock is extraordinary, either direction, up or down. A 20% drop in a stock or an index is considered a major correction. In fact, 20% in an index is considered is considered a prelude to a recession. So people freaked out about it because it dropped up to 27%, something like that. In crypto, we look at 27% and we laugh maniacally because we see it all the time. 20 it dropped, time to buy. So we as crypto traders are looking at this going, okay. Now, I will say that the one thing that has me somewhat concerned is this right here, this way up here at where it topped out. The high was 968, but the open was 882 and the close was 887. That's a doji, okay? We're looking at $5 difference in price. That's a doji. And at the top of a run, a doji tends to mark a reversal. So we've got a reversal signal here. But if we look at the weekly, we do have a hammer. At least at this point, it's forming a hammer. A hammer is a less significant reversal. So what does that mean? Well, I suspect it's interesting because we're seeing Tesla stock yesterday went up. Today it seems to be going back up. We have a very short shadow on yesterday's candle, a very short shadow on the bottom of yesterday's candle, a much longer shadow on the top. That also seems to indicate that the bulls are running out of steam. They took the price all the way up to, what was the high? High was $7.95, but it closed back down at $7.48. So they lost about $50 in value. They couldn't hold it up at the top. And again, today's candle looks to be a hammer. So, yeah, I mean, it's very possible, and in fact, I would say extremely likely, that Tesla stock is going to drop. How much, I don't know. I don't know. And for how long, I don't know. We have a whole lot of permabulls out there for Tesla who are saying that Tesla stock could be worth $7,000 the next 5 or 10 years. I don't doubt that. I really don't. I think we're going to have to go through a recession to get there. And I think that the stock is going to suffer in that recession. But at this point, Tesla is not in a bubble. And let's go back to the weekly. I will show you that Tesla stock, we'll go all the way back here. So if we look all the way back here to 2013, beginning of November 2013, you'll notice that my bubble pop indicator indicates that there's a bubble and it's about to pop. And right here, let's see here, 126.85 to 126.85 versus 126.03. So I'm going to call that the cross. Right here on the week of September 30th, 2013, it indicated a pop. Well, that's exactly what happened, is that it popped and then it dropped back down. Okay, so it dropped from a high of $191.28 down to a low of $116.10. So this stock has actually gone through a bubble. All right. At this point, my two indicators are quite far apart. So we may be heading into a bubble. If the stock continues to climb, it may very well go into a bubble, and at some point it will pop. But and again, this candle has not fully finished forming. It won't finish until the market closes tonight. It's possible that the bulls can push this price way back up. Like I said, the current high, let's go back over here. The current high on this was a 968. So if they push it back up near there, it will be much less likely of a drop in price. But that hammer hanging up there is certainly a possible hanged man, and we won't know until next week. If we get a red candle and it drops down below the low for this week, that will be a hanged man, and that is a major sign of a drop in price. So we won't know until next week whether this actually plays out. That's a whole week's worth of trading action that, if you're waiting for a signal, you're going to miss out on it. we're talking nearly $1,000 per share. I'm willing to miss out on a week's worth of trading activity to find out, to actually get a clear signal. Because I know that if we've got a clear signal down, why would I go in? If I've got a clear signal down, I would, if I had money in Tesla, I'd want to come back out. But what I'm trying to show you here is stocks also do similar things to crypto. Not all stocks. This is a very rare instance. This is a very unusual occurrence that we're seeing here, where it goes parabolic. But expect this sort of image, this sort of picture, the end of this year, beginning of next year, certainly into next year. Actually, let me rephrase that. Probably closer to the middle of next year is when I expect to see this sort of parabolic rise in Bitcoin. We will see it. We've always seen it. Bitcoin has always gone into a huge bubble just before it bursts and goes into a bear market. I expect similar things to happen with Tesla, is that it will, at some point, it will burst. The bubble will pop. The bigger the bubble, the bigger the pop. We're currently, based on my indicators, we're not in that big of a bubble. So it may burst, drop down, and then surge way back up. It certainly has time. I don't expect the next recession until March of next year, spring of next year, 2021. So it certainly has time to recover and go far higher than it currently is. But these are the things that I look at when I look at an asset. What is the asset doing? How far into a bubble are we? Well, in this case, we're not. Of course, I would have much preferred to buy down here at $60 a share than the current $739 per share. We've dropped $200. Well, 100.5 was it? The high was $968. So yeah, $200. We've dropped $200 from the high of this week. That tends to be a negative sign, and that tends to scare investors. It was at 968. Now it's at 750. It's dropping in value. I've got to get out, and people will panic sell, especially those who got in at 900. They're probably crapping themselves right now. Oh my God! I got into the top. I've got to get out before I lose any more money. Watching this Tesla stock and seeing what it does is a good way to judge the emotion of the market. And it's the emotion of the market. Remember, I've always told you, and as always, none of this is investment advice. But what I'm saying is that when you invest, you always remove the emotion from the decision. Don't invest. I like Tesla. I think Tesla is a fantastic company. I like the cars. I would love to own the cars. I would love to own a Tesla or two. It would be a very emotional thing for me to buy a car or the Cybertruck. As weird as that looks, I actually do like the Cybertruck. I think it's going to be a fantastic vehicle. That's an emotional choice. That's an emotional decision. Would I buy Tesla stock right now? No, and I've said so for the past several weeks. It is, at this point, I've missed out on most of the gains, I believe. Will it go up further from where it's at? Very possibly. I think it's probably going to fall before it does that. I think it's going to fall significantly before the bulls can take control back and do anything with it. I mean, we've got this large green candle here for this week. Massive. I mean, it's bigger than any other green candle ever on Tesla. So the volume, what is it? Volume is 199.699 million. So volume, it's green volume, but it's still, and again, this is the weekly candle, it's still showing us a huge upper shadow. The upper shadow is way bigger than the rest of the candle. So we're looking at a potential hanged man here. If we see a red candle and that red candle drops down below, let's see here, what's the current low is 673, close 641. So yeah, if we drop down below 640 and it's a red candle, that will indicate a hanged man. A hanged man is a major signal for reversal, for a drop, that the price is going to drop. I think it's very possible we're going to see that. And so I certainly wouldn't buy at this point. I wouldn't even do an option trade on this. I don't know whether to do a put or a call. I really don't. So my main point here is, if you want to see what Bitcoin is going to look like next year, look at Tesla stock. See what it's doing. Read up on, see who's saying what about Tesla, and you will get a sense of what is going to be said about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency next year, 2021. Anyway, that's what I've got for you. Until next week, keep hodling.